Here on the morning show, we are talking with Kathleen Owings, and Kathleen's like, oh my goodness, thank goodness you finally made it to me, Doug. I appreciate that. Kathleen, we are going to make it to you for one big reason, is that, you know what, the kids nowadays, they don't get the kind of money education, financial education that they should anywhere else but home. And a lot of kids aren't getting it there either. So we're happy to have you with us on the WMT Morning Show to talk exactly about this and how we can be financial role models in everyday life to our children. Thanks for joining us, Kathleen. How's your Friday starting out?
Thanks for having me, Doug. It's wonderful. We have beautiful weather here.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that the weather's nice there as well as it is here, because it makes it easier if you just want to grab a hold of the kids and say, all right, you know what? Let's talk about the challenges that you're going to face as a graduate heading out into the real world. And really, in prepping your children, you need to prep yourself to be a financial role model by actually modeling the things that you're talking about here.
Absolutely. Some of the things I tell the parents that I work with is to talk to their kids about money. Share with them, maybe not all your personal finances as the parents, but share with them those things that you're saving for. Maybe you're saving for a new car or a used car or a trip coming up this next year. Mm-hmm. But it's really great to model to your kids that you yourself are practicing good saving habits so that they see it. Because I think all too often in today's day and age, the kids just see us swipe our cards. We swipe our debit cards, we swipe our credit cards, and I don't think they understand that concept of spending and also saving.
You know, maybe it's a good thing, Kathleen, that schools have sort of abandoned teaching the financial portion of it, because that gives us the opportunity to actually show ourselves as good parents, good people, and we've got your best interest in mind in trying to move forward with this. It gives us the ability to interact with our children in this area, which is a really important one.
I think it does. It really certainly puts more onus on the parents. As you said, the schools have kind of abandoned that concept. So there's certainly more onus on the parents to teach those habits, and I think that needs to start at a young age. Certainly with the younger kids, maybe grade school, it needs to be age appropriate. We talk to parents about, you know, the allowances maybe you give your kids, teaching them a concept of some of that money is for giving, some is for saving, and some is for spending, and just starting, maybe it's just 3 piggy banks, you start them at a young age. Then as they get older, making that conversation more age appropriate, still doing those same concepts, but also talking about investments. I just started with my own daughter. She's 14, an investment account, so she understands stocks and bonds so that these concepts aren't foreign when she starts a job and has a 401k.
2 stories for you, and this is one that my morning show listeners have probably heard a million times. We had newspaper routes growing up, and my dad took a piece of each time we got a check from the newspaper, he'd put a portion of that into 401k. And so we learned about the value. He followed that with us. In addition to that, there's a funny story. One of the local pastors here, Pastor Craig over at First Lutheran, the money that one of his children saved up, I think he's 14 or 15 years old, he was able to save up enough money to buy like a 2009 Jayco camper. The teenager was, and that's what they wanted to buy. I mean, that's a real role model there. Tell me a little bit, and this may be off the beaten path, talk to me a little bit about the concept of role models peer-to-peer when you're at that age. How difficult do you think that would be to be a role model for a peer of yours if you maybe set out some goals for everybody?
You know, I think modeling the behaviors is the best way you can be a role model for your peers, frankly. Even at this age, as an adult, you know, no one wants to be told what to do. Of course, as parents, we know that's a hard thing with their kids. But that's why I think having those conversations, modeling that behavior for your children, I think the same can be said for that peer-to-peer modeling. If you're just talking to people about what you're doing and how it's working for you, there are those that will want to do it. They'll ask you more. They'll inquire more. And those that will kind of self-select, saying, oh, it's not for me. So I think modeling is the biggest way you can do that peer-to-peer mentoring at any age, quite frankly.
Gotcha. Hey, I need to know from you, Kathleen Owings, how people can catch up with you, how they can find out more about what you're doing and the stuff that you're talking about, like everyday ways to be a financial role model for your kids.
Absolutely. So my company website is www.westbiltfinancial.com, and that's BILT. Or I'm also very active on Facebook and LinkedIn, Kathleen Owings, and my last name again is Owings. I love to connect with people.
Wonderful. Hey, Kathleen, thanks for joining us here in the WMT Morning Show. Have a great weekend, would you?
Thanks, Doug.
All right, take care.
You.
75 degrees, 823 at Broadcast Park.